Hi everyone!
Today we are going to talk about carbon neutrality and green transformation.
First, introduction. As climate change intensifies, the world faces severe environmental challenges. To address this problem, many cities are actively improving initiatives, such as urban greening, low carbon transportation, and renewable energy development. We plan to extend this concept to school and even globally, fostering transition toward low carbon living.
Our research focuses on carbon neutrality with the following objectives. First, defining and understanding the concept. Second, discussing the specific measures of government policies. Third, examining students' awareness and attitudes. And finally, promoting carbon neutrality within school. Next, literature review. First and foremost, let's highlight the impact of carbon emissions on our environment. Global warming triggers extreme weather events, causing polar ice caps to melt, raising sea levels, and threatening human settlements.
Next, carbon emissions contribute to declining air quality. They produce pollutants which degrade the air we breathe and harm human health.
Water resources are another critical area impacted by carbon emissions. Global warming causes water shortage in some regions, and it threatens agriculture and food security.
Moreover, it's difficult to address climate change due to the great cost.
So what is carbon neutrality? Carbon neutrality refers to achieving a balance between the amount of CO2 emitted into the atmosphere and the amount removed or offset. This means reducing carbon emissions as much as possible and compensating for the remaining emissions.
Since the mid-1990s, when the concept of carbon footprints was first introduced, carbon neutrality has become an important global strategy for addressing climate change. The signing of the Paris Agreement in 2015 further elevated carbon neutrality as a global focal point. Now, let's take a look at examples of cities that have implemented carbon neutrality. Keyon has implemented green walls and green rooftop, tree planting, green poles, and artificial turf.
Taipei City has implemented several green policies to reduce carbon emissions. These include street greening, tree planting, and ecological green spaces.
New Taipei City has also implemented many green policies, such as environmental education, sustainable transportation, green parks, ecological spaces, and waterfront greening.
Let's go through our research methods. The research methods involve exploring the origin and development of carbon neutrality, followed by an evaluation of students' understanding of the issue. Then we implemented practical measures to green our school.
Next, analysis and results. This bar graph shows three different understandings of carbon neutrality. The number 45 is highlighted in red in the chart to emphasize that only a few respondents truly understand the carbon neutrality.
The chart shows that 42% of people believe taking public transportation is the most effective carbon-reducing action in daily life. However, raising awareness and support for reducing disposable items is especially important. As shown in the graph, 89% of respondents answered correctly, indicating that most of them understand the symbol of carbon footprints.
However, since 80% of respondents got the carbon footprints calculation formula wrong, this indicates a clear need for more education on the topic. Next, we'll teach you how to accurately calculate your carbon footprints. As shown in the graph, various sections of the footprints highlight factor contributing to the carbon emissions. The carbon emission is delta times emissions factor.
For example, running an air conditioner for 10 hours with a power consumption of 1.2 kilowatt-hour and a local carbon emission factor of 0.5 kilograms of CO2 per kilowatt-hour results in 6.1 kilograms of CO2. Let's look at what we can do to make a difference. What are the impacts of school greenery?
It reduces stress and enhances concentration.
Have you ever participated in any school greening activities?
Yes, and these experiences made me pay more attention to our school environment.
Next, suggestion and conclusion. In Taiwan, one of the prominent experts in greening is Dr. Li Hongyuan. He has introduced the concept of sponge cities, which helps cities absorb rainwater more effectively.
As a student, we can track our carbon footprints. By monitoring our individual or collective carbon emissions, we can reduce energy use and waste. We can also green school grounds. Transforming school grounds into green spaces such as gardens helps absorb CO2, improve air quality, and creates a healthy environment for students.
We explain formulas for calculating carbon emissions, aiming to equip students with practical knowledge to calculate and reduce their own carbon footprint, fostering environmental responsibility.
We also design worksheets to help students pay more attention to the carbon footprint. To get started, we wanted to make sure that everyone knew the symbol of carbon footprint, so we provided 4 images for participants to distinguish. Then, we asked them to calculate examples of carbon footprint in our daily life.
In addition to the classrooms, we added greenery to the teacher's office to create a more pleasant environment. The classroom background was previously an unused space. We transformed it into a garden by planting greenery.
We also planted greenery on the bookshelves to enhance the classroom's overall greenery.
In conclusion, our project emphasizes the importance of carbon neutrality and environmental awareness. By doing so, we want to inspire students to reduce their carbon footprints.
Small changes can lead to significant environmental improvements. Together, we can foster a greener, more sustainable future for our schools and beyond. Here's our references.
Thank you for your attention.